Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm excited today to introduce to you one of our newest instructors, but not new to the industry. Sandra, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So today I'm going to answer or ask you some questions that we get from our students and some of our most popular questions. So I'll go ahead and start now. What do you like the most about training?
Yeah, the thing I love most is seeing my students' personal and professional transportations and witnessing it with my own eyes. From the student who first walks in and saying, Lean Six Sigma is not for me. I've never been good at math. I took statistics 1, statistics 2 in college, and I never understood it. And I say, well, it's okay. We are starting at the foundational level. We're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to show you how easy it is through hands-on experience and specific scenarios, how you can easily organize your data within, let's say, Sigma Excel, how you can create your columns, highlight them, choose the specific statistical test, for example, two sample t-test, how to click on a tab, input a few numbers, click OK, then magically you see your mean 1 average, your mean 2 average. You're able to interpret your p-value and then draw your study's conclusion. And my students look at that like, oh, is that really how you do it? Is it really that simple? And I just give them and say, yes, all you have to do, here's a cheat sheet. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And I truly believe that if you just really break down the material, there's no such thing as too many baby steps. Keep breaking it down so that every student in your class can master the subject at hand. And to have students go from fearful or I never was good at this to, yeah, I feel like I can master this now if I just take everything one baby step at a time. Seeing those personal and professional transformations take place in my class, it's what makes me love teaching every day.
It must be rewarding.
Yeah.
How many certifications do you have?
Yes, I hold a total of 11 certifications. So I hold the highest level of designation in the field of Lean Six Sigma. That is the Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, which I received from New Horizons. And I also hold the designation of ITIL 4 Managing Professional. As you guys are probably aware, that's a total of 5 certifications to earn that designation. Prior to ITIL 4 coming out, there was ITIL 3, and within that realm, I held 3 certifications as well. So in total, 11, and each one, I mean, for me to be sitting here with you today, Chelsea, each one was worthwhile.
Wonderful. Which was the hardest to pass?
Oh my, Chelsea, all of them. All of them is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to put aside different areas of your life and you have to be committed to what's at hand to pass it. So you literally need a large chunk per day, and that's what you're doing. You're given everything. The instructor, aka the trainer, does a really good job in explaining the material. They do the hands-on practical scenarios in class. You have your live labs. All of that is amazing. But when the class is done, it's up to me to find the time. I say it has nothing to do with I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try to do this tomorrow or the next day. No, it comes down to TIME, time. And that was the biggest factor for me. And the way that I learned, I had to put this aside, postpone this for another 3 weeks, postpone that little area for another 4 weeks, and make that my priority. Because once I made it my priority, I had everything I need. I had the syllabus. And within the syllabus, it tells you this is objective 1. This is how many questions are going to be on the exam. Objective 2, how many questions. I had all the slide decks. I had the official PDF from the governing body. I had the 2 sample practice tests that came with the material. But now I had to hone down, not focus on anything else, and make it my priority. And for me, it was like I study in order. So if I am devoting, if there's 5 modules, I may do 2 modules a day for a total of 3 days, and I'm not doing pretty much anything else. I'm making arrangements in those other areas. And then on the 4th day, I do practice test number 1. I do all 40 questions, for example, let's say it's the ITIL 4 foundations, and then I study the answers and rationale sheet that comes with the sample test. What did I get right? Why did I get it right? What did I get wrong? Why did I get it wrong? You need to analyze those 40 questions because they're guiding you to what's going to be on the test. After I'm done, I'm always trying to aim for at least 28 or 40 or 28 out of 40 or better. Then right away, I take sample paper 2 and I study it and I analyze those 40 questions the same way I did sample paper 1. Then on, let's say on a Friday, I go over the material one more time and I have this test studied. I have the test scheduled for a Saturday. And doing it in sequence, and honestly, it's like 5 to 6 days of making it your priority, I was able to pass a lot of those ITIL exams. The Lean
Wow.
Six Sigma actually took a little longer, but because we had to go through like lots of modules, the PDF was very long, it was like 1,000+ pages.
Wow.
But honestly, the number one thing that I tell all of my students, because I have my own experience taking these classes at New Horizons, I sat where my students sat at one point. I tell them, you just got to buckle down, make it a priority. And some students did what I did, and right after, let's say the 5-day boot camp class was over, 5 days later, Sandra, I passed the Lean Six Sigma, let's say the green belt, I got a 98% on it. I'm done. But other students, they have, a little bit other priorities. It takes them more time. They'll send me an email 2 to 3 months later. But at the end of the day, both students got the certification. So definitely do the time. It is possible. And I know from experience, you can earn every cert that you're interested in.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What is your real world experience?
Yeah, so my love for teaching, Chelsea, it started back when I was a PhD student in political science, specifically public administration at Wayne State University. I was a writing mentor for about 2.5 years at the School of Social Work. I mentored both BSW and MSW students. And seeing the students from going from unsure to being very sure in their writing abilities, knowing how to write research papers from beginning to end, and seeing that transformation was very meaningful to me. And that really solidified while I was a graduate school, student, that teaching is my total passion. And since earning my PhD, I had the privilege of teaching over 800 students in different areas from, political science intro, like 101, 201 at Ashford University and DeVry University. Prior to that, I was a faculty member at North Central University, at KUO, contributing faculty member teaching lean metrics for students in the Masters of Lean Manufacturing program. I also had the privilege prior to working at this New Horizons to work at the one in Austin, Texas, where the majority of my students, I would say maybe 75 or 80% were veterans and the rest were civilians. And they sat in my classes. It was longer than the boot camp classes. They sat in my classes over a period of 7 weeks. And it was Monday through Thursday, 4.5 hours a day. 4 of those weeks was Lean Six Sigma, 3 weeks was ITIL, and they were very intelligent students. After the class was done, they had to complete homework assignments. They had to meet minimum grade averages, and it was not easy to pass this class. And just all of that experience, and even working as a grant writer for two nonprofits in the Metro Detroit area, all of that experience has really solidified and really solidified the fact that, I really found my passion, and that is definitely teaching and training.
That's wonderful. If someone is looking to get certified, where should they begin?
Start at the foundational level. Y'all don't really need to know it all before you start. So if you're interested, just speak to a representative. If you're interested, pick up the phone and say, I want to speak to a career consultant. I've had so many students say, hey, right now I'm unemployed. Or you know what, I never was passionate in what I've been doing for the past 5 years. And now all of a sudden I find myself unemployed. Let me start all over. But I'm not positive. Am I really an IT person? Am I really a process improvement professional? Do I have that in me? Don't worry about that. Sit in any foundational class and take it from there. I have students because their employer signed them up, let's say for an ITIL Foundations 3 class with me. And they say, Sandra, I'm not really sure if I should get this certification because, oh my, I never worked in the help desk. I don't know how to fix computers. I'm a total mess. And they're nervous. And I tell them, wait, ITIL Foundations 3, it's the management. You don't need to be a hardcore IT person, but do take the certification. You're already sitting in my class, go take it. But I'm not sure, just go take it. That student, she took the certification. She went for a job interview as a business relationship manager. And the interviewers told her, yeah, we were interested in interviewing you because we see you have some, sales experience as an account executive level. Not a lot, but a year and a half. But what really stood out is that you have this ITIL Foundations 3 certificate. And her face lit up and she said, this is my moment to shine. Yes, I believe I would be a really great business relationship manager because I'll be serving as the middle person between the IT, the hardcore tech world, those programmers, and meeting face to face with the clients. And that gap, because usually clients speak a different language and your hardcore tech people speak a different language. I really believe that I'll do a really great job in specifying service level targets and service level requirements, and I will specify everything that needs to be in a service level agreement. She started throwing out these words, SLTs, SLRs, service level agreements, and we're going to keep both parties satisfied. And if there's any kind of confusion or disagreement of what these targets mean, I'll be the one to clarify it. And she got that job. And she said, like, remember, Sandra, what you told me? And she said this via email. Remember when you told me, don't overthink it. Go schedule and pass that cert. And it got me the job as a business relationship manager. You never know. That's what I always tell students. You never know. Go for it at a foundational level and see what happens.
That's wonderful. I like hearing those stories.
Yeah, same here.
Speaking of, can you share a happy client story with us?
Yeah, sure. So there was a company that was just starting a new lean culture. They're just slowly dipping their feet in it. So they held an open company meeting, explaining to them the importance of being comfortable with change and that we were really interested in lean transformations. And they started taking people's inputs. It was like a focus group, open, no judgment. Everyone can just speak about areas in their departments or within their own teams that they believed needs improvement. So y'all help us identify quality problems. And a lot of people were uncomfortable to speak up. Then one of the students who had just taken my class comes out and says, oh, we can focus on this area. We can focus on that area. Then all of a sudden, other people started feeling comfortable and they started adding on to the discussion. And then they said, but how would we measure this? What does this look like? This is such a broad concept. And my former student comes out who had earned his green belt and said, well, we can look at this metric and that metric, and we can really break it down to SMART goals. And he was, without knowing it, facilitating and brainstorming a Lean Six Sigma idea to the point where the individual that was hosting the meeting came out and said, we're going to rely on you for our first ever Lean Six Sigma project. We want you to be the facilitator. Then he jokingly told me, man, what did I get myself into? But he said, honestly, it wouldn't have been possible, Sandra, if it wasn't for those hands-on experience that we had in our classes. It wasn't for those practical scenarios. You made us do those high-level process maps and the detailed process maps, the functional process maps. You made us play with Sigma Excel and do a 1 sample t-test, 2 sample t-test, the ANOVA, all that good stuff. Like, I felt I was in control and I was leading them in the right direction, and I would not have gotten there if I had not taken the Lean Six Sigma green belt. So stories like that are always wonderful to hear as an educator.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sandra. Appreciate it and answering those questions. I'll let you get back to training.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you.